before. I want to provide a little introduction and overview of our class, SBNM 5411 Quantitative Decision Analysis for Managers. The title of the book of the course here has a photo of the cover of the book. Obviously, if you've taken courses before, you click on that, you go here, blah, blah, blah. If I open the syllabus, we can look at that quickly. It's an online course over the summer. I've given my office number, which don't call it. I'm not there. It'll just send me a email saying that I have a voice message and a copy of the voice message. Call my cell, and no one calls. Everybody texts, but I won't know your number. So tell me your name in it, and it's either a badge of honor or something else if you text me so much that I put your phone number and name into my address book. It seems to be either for the best or the worst students. I don't know why. But feel free to call. I only have one course, so I'll know what course you're in. And there's 16, 17 people in this class, which is kind of large for a graduate class, but I'm delighted that it's so. This is basically your math and stats class, even though it's way less stats than it should be. And as a manager, you have to be a little bit analytical to be able to really, truly analyze things and be a fully well-rounded manager. So this will take you in that direction. And we're going to cover a variety of different topics, and we'll go over that. Here's the textbook. I've posted a PDF of it in Microsoft Teams. We'll get to that in a little bit. But you can click on it here, and you'll realize why I picked this textbook. It's the 11th edition. I think it was a 2012. It's grossly out of date and definitely out of print. But if you click on this link here that takes you to, oops, I'm sorry, the wrong one. But click on the Amazon link here. It will take you to Amazon where you can find copies of the book for under $20. That's why I use the textbook, because why should you pay $250 for a textbook? And like I said, somehow, somewhere, a PDF of the book found its way into my possession. I can't really post it in Canvas, but I can definitely post it in Microsoft Teams. So it's a 7-week course. It's pretty simple. We're going to go through chapters 1, 2, 3, 6, 4, 5, 7, 8. And the topics we're going to cover is just an introduction to quantitative analysis and a little bit about statistics, very little about probability and statistics actually in chapter 2. We're going to talk about decision analysis, which is probably something you hadn't really thought of before, and it's kind of a nice way of looking at it. Inventory control modules. Why inventory? I'm an operations the professor of operations management. I spend a large portion of my time doing inventory. Therefore, we have a module called inventory control models. And then we move from there. If we think of the first 3 weeks as kind of modeling, in a sense, the next 2 weeks are forecasting. And you find out the importance of forecasting an inventory control model. We start with linear regression, which is another stats topic, and then get into time series-based forecasting. And then at the end, we cover a topic called linear programming. That is, I'm not sure you'll ever actually use it, but the methodology behind it, the thinking behind it, will last with you the rest of your life, maybe, or so I think. But anyway, that's it. And so we have model building. Then we have forecasting, and then we have linear programming. And every week there's 25 points of discussion. Every week there's an Excel assignment for 50 points. And every other week there's a paper for 50 points. It's that simple. Please keep up. It moves rather quickly. And let's see what else. Yeah, here's all the policies. Don't cheat. Do all your work. Blah, blah, blah. So let's go see how I structured everything here. Excuse me, this is my first video of the day. And my voice hasn't woken up fully. So I've divided logically the course into weeks. I've updated it from a previous class. So if any of the dates don't seem right, just send me a note, let me know. Because I probably overlooked it. And that goes for due dates, etc. Everything is due on a Sunday. Your discussions, your first post should be done midweek. The week starts on Monday, in my view, and ends on Sunday night at 10. I don't discount for late homework, but I will if you become a habitual. And what is habitual? Late, you'll find out when I tell you. If you text me and say, hey, I got to turn it in Monday or Tuesday, it's a bad week, okay, fine. If every week you turn it in 2-3 days late, I'm probably going to start taking points off after a while. In every, the PowerPoints from the textbook are in every week. So if we look at week 1, materials and contents and assignments. Under materials and contents are the PowerPoints, like I said, and a lecture. If you click on the lecture, it'll come up with take you to a YouTube, and you can watch it here. We'd like to cover. And you can hear me way more than you're ever going to want to. Introduction to quantitative analysis. Sometimes they open up in right in here. Sometimes they open up in a new window, depending on how I thought I was being consistent that week. So in the first week, we have Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, part of Chapter 2. I've given a PowerPoint on sales and operations planning. And sales and operations planning, there's a video that goes with that PowerPoint. And then I've given you something on linear cost and revenue functions. No video there. But I've given you a probability video to watch. It's just fun. So there's a worksheet if you want to do more linear cost and revenue problems, but it's not required. It's just to cut your teeth on this concept, which is in Chapter 1. There are 3 discussions, all of which add up to 25 points in the first week. The first one is an introduction, and it's just so I know who you are. Thank you, Michael Saul and Kristen Toth. And oh, good, you're all doing this. I'd like to see this as early as Monday, and so I know who you are. I will forget, but at least I can go back to the introductions and see who you are when I have a question. And I'm about to call you, or you're about to call me for something, and I can be reminded who you are and what you do, and put your questions and my responses in context of that. Then there's 2 questions on discussion on statistical thinking. Let's see if anyone's posted there yet. No one has. You can start anytime you want. And another one on database decision making. So enjoy that and follow the rules. It tells you something like, post 1 original posting by Wednesday, comment on 1 other student's post by the due date. I am impressed if you get into it and do more, but it's not required. It should be the topic. If the topic moves you and you post more, I get a little tear in my eye, and that's a good thing. Let's see what else is there. Instructor, privacy information. We're missing, I think, 1 video here I'm going to have to put up. It is a video about how I want you to do your homework. I am a little stickler about that. I want you to do it in Excel, 1 worksheet per problem, not all the problems, and I want all calculations done in Excel. I do not want to see you do the calculations outside of Excel and just put the answer in Excel. I get crazy about that. Not crazy, but It reflects in your grade. I'll cut you slack the first week and then probably not thereafter. So here's some YouTubes for week 1 problems. There's the solutions for week 1, but notice that it's not available to you yet. And I've assigned paper 1 in week 1. So the discussions are due at the end of the first week. The textbook problems, which if you look at, there are chapter 1, problem 18, or page 18 problems, 118 and 119, and then the food beverage case study. The case studies require a little bit more effort, and pretend like you're turning this stuff into your boss's boss. That's the way I look at myself. I used to be a vice president of global supply chain at a Fortune 500 company. So I want to look at your homework that way. Other thing is in chapter 2, pages 60 to 63, problems 14, 20, 36, 37, and a WTVX case study. There's a rubric for all homework, which makes it easy for me to grade and comment on it. And those are due Sunday of every week. Papers, I give you 2 weeks to do. The paper we have is on sales and operations planning. Prepare an executive briefing, answering the following questions. The paper is a prelude to our weeks 4 and 5 topics of regression and forecasting. What is sales and operations planning? What does it have to do with forecasting? Does it work? What are the challenges to make it work? If you work someplace that uses SNOP, relate your personal experience and viewpoint. If you haven't worked any place where forecasting has been a part of the business / organization, base it on your opinion and research. The paper is due in MS Word and uploaded here by the due date, which is July 12th. Here's the rubric for that. And notice that the rubric kind of follows these points. Please do not treat it like a grade school, high school assignment. Question 1, what is sales and operation planning? And then you read a couple paragraphs about it. I don't know why. That just bothers the living daylights out of me. Write a paper that answers these 4 questions, but not in like a question format. Some people will still do it. I try real hard not to take points off for it, but you don't want your professor, when he opens the paper, to go, I'm not sure I want to read this because they did what I told them not to do. But some people that's how they think. I will take points off if you don't have a title, name, date, course on your paper. I mean, treat this, I want to see presentation counts, not as much as content, but presentation counts. All right, let's see what else we have. I will put my guidelines, it's not here, I'm sorry, and a video on how I want you to do your homework. So when you next open this up in the next day or so, you will find 2 more bits of information here. Guidelines for doing homework and discussions, and then a little video that I put together, basically taking you through the Excel sheet I'm putting up. That's about it. I also want to talk about Microsoft Teams. I've put a team discussion here, and if I want, and if you want, I was thinking about making Wednesday evenings from 7 to 8 a time for our team. So I would go here to calendar, and I would say, well, we want to go to next week, which is the day North Park actually isn't open, but I'm going to still do it anyway. I'm going to go from 7 to 8, and I'm going to put a meeting. And where am I going to put it? Add title, SBNM 5411, virtual office hours. Let's call it that this time. So if you have trouble doing your homework, call then. And we'll make it to 8 o'clock for an hour. I'm not going to repeat it this time. Let's see how many people showed up. I'm going to add a column here, and I'm going to put our course. So it's that there. Please call in if you have any questions. Now, you should, I haven't put required attendees. And let's see if I can do that. I don't think I can. I think if it's on this channel, you should get a notification for it. If you don't, when I hit say or send, we will, I'll have to do it again. But here you see it's on my calendar. And when I click on it, I will basically start a video conference. And this is like Zoom. So it's pretty cool. And also, like I said, I put the PDF of the text in here. So if you go back to our teams, and here's our team 5411. If I go to files, you'll see the render quantitative analysis for management PDF there, and you can enjoy it. So let me get out of that and go back here. The only thing I have to do is add a video and add the PowerPoint on the guidelines. And my phone's ringing, so I'm going to sign off now.